Hi, Michael Bartlett here. I'm a health and wellness consultant with consumerhealthdigest.com, and I want to talk to you today about following the eat, work, and sleep cycle. Do you get out of bed, you go to work, you eat, sleep, and repeat? Does that sound familiar to you? For whatever reasons, the demands of life, whether it be work or children, family, they seem to be increasingly intense and unrelenting. More and more, it seems that people are programmed to give up the activities they enjoy, whether it be cooking with friends or spending time with family or exercising, in order to meet the needs of others around us. If you find yourself in that situation, you're not alone. There are millions of people who are actually experiencing serious health issues as a result of the inability to break out of this dangerous cycle. And these health issues include obesity, diabetes, inflammation, heart disease, anxiety, depression, etc. It's a direct result of focusing on work and the day-to-day things that we have to, but also not paying enough attention to the important roles of exercise and diet, sleep, and social activities in our lives. So let me talk to you a little bit about the dangers of a life that's focused around work. We know people need to work, and a steady job's important. Employment not only provides income to our families, it actually can be a part of a balanced, healthy lifestyle, providing a sense of purpose and satisfaction. However, that balance can easily be disrupted when your career starts to trump the important things in life, like your family or your relationships or your health. And that can lead to some pretty big problems pretty quick. So just to put things in perspective, the current average full-time employee works nearly 50 hours a week, and 40% of people say they work at least 50 hours a week. Research has also demonstrated that people who work an average of 10 to 11 hours a day are at an increased risk of health issues, including depression, a 60% increase in the risk of heart attack, stress, high blood sugar levels, inflammation, and even mental decline. Another problem or factor that plays into this eat, work, and sleep cycle is that the more you work, seemingly the less you sleep. Now, we know that health officials recommend between 7 and 8 hours of sleep each night. However, working 10 to 11 hours a day and trying to meet the demands of a family or an exercise program often leaves little time for a good night's sleep. So research is showing that the lack of consistent sleep, specifically between 7 and 8 hours a night, directly increases the risk of one developing diabetes, heart disease, unwanted weight gain, and anxiety. It also doesn't allow your brain to rest and recharge. And an exhausted brain tends to be more impulsive. It also tends to send signals for your body to crave fatty and salty, sugary foods. And it can affect your short and long-term memory as well. So how do you know if you need to work less and maybe spend some more time focusing on you and focusing on downtime? Some of the signs include an inability to complete tasks while you're at work. And spending the most amount of time physically at work does not mean you're the most effective or most valuable employee. The exact opposite is true. Research actually demonstrates that people who spend the most time at work are actually those who complete less work than their more efficient coworkers. Another sign you might notice is that you're missing important family events, dinners, anniversaries, your kids' birthdays, sporting events, or other important events that might cause conflict within your family. So it doesn't not only causes conflict in your family, it makes you feel guilty and resentful of your job or your family, and just an overall sense of frustration. So what can you do? Let me give you a few tips for you to consider. Stop and enjoy life. That's what it's here for. It is hard to strike a balance at first between work and family and your health, but it is possible. I would recommend committing to 30 minutes of exercise each day. And exercise releases endorphins, it burns calories, it relieves stress. It can be as simple as a 30-minute brisk walk or a bike ride, some yoga or weight training. It improves your health, your cardiovascular health, and decreases your stress and anxiety. I would also recommend trying to complete your exercise in the morning, especially if you have an unpredictable or busy schedule. That way it's done and complete, and not one of the first things that are put on the back burner when things get a little crazy later in the day. I would recommend eating as healthy as often as possible. And notice I said as often and not every time or every meal. We're busy, and let's face it, busy schedules make eating healthy all the time nearly impossible. So I would prepare as best as possible for a sensible eating plan, lean proteins, a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. I would pack some high protein and snacks for in between meals, whether it be nuts or seeds, some nut butters. You can have some fruit and vegetables there too. When you do that, and you do have the splurge or a business dinner, or you have to grab some pizza because you're on the go, it's not that big a deal because you're consistently eating healthy as often as possible. And I would also recommend establishing healthy sleep patterns. Go to sleep and get up the same times every day, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. Your body, like everything else, develops routines, and disrupting that routine by staying up late or sleeping in confuse the natural circadian rhythms, and that leads to poor or restless sleep. And perhaps most importantly, I would stress more than anything else, is that you make time for your family and make that a priority. So you work hard to provide for your family. Make sure you strike a balance between work and your family, so you're not missing the times that matter. You're never going to have the opportunity to see your kids grow up again. And you never want to find yourself saying, I wish I did something different. I wish I spent more time with them. But no matter how hard you work, you can't turn back time. And if you're finding it difficult to manage the day-to-days, the work, the exercise, the family time, try combining family time and exercise. Consider combining the two into a bike ride with your family, or go for a hike with your spouse. Spend a day swimming at the ocean or a lake with your kids. Whatever you decide to do with your life, make sure that you take care of you. There certainly are a lot of people who are counting on your success,